Prince Harry has always struggled to balance the weight of his royal lineage with his desire to forge a more independent path. But nothing could have prepared him for the finality of his father's decision. The reported move by King Charles III to strip Harry and Meghan of their Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles wasn't just a bureaucratic adjustment, it was a gut-wrenching blow that cut deeper than any interview, headline, or tabloid scandal. For Harry, it marked the stark moment when rebellion turned into rejection, and independence became isolation. According to insiders, Harry had been bracing for a reckoning, especially after the recent BBC interview that ignited public backlash, and his failed legal appeal for taxpayer-funded security. Still, he believed, perhaps naively, that familial bonds might offer some buffer. Instead, King Charles's decisive action shattered that illusion. The stripping of the Sussex titles, reportedly signed personally by the king, sent a chilling message. The crown would no longer tolerate those who trade royal privilege for public controversy. Harry's reaction was one of visible devastation, say sources close to the couple. He had always harbored hope, flickering though it may have been, that despite everything, he could still return to the fold in some form. But this latest development made it clear, there would be no return, no reconciliation, no halfway point. The monarchy had spoken, and its judgment was final. What pains Harry most, according to friends, isn't the loss of titles, it's the implication behind the act. It wasn't just a revocation of formality, it was a public stripping of identity. For years, he had walked the line between two worlds, one foot in Hollywood, the other still tethered to Windsor. Now, the rope has been severed. In private, Harry reportedly views the move as a betrayal, a deliberate rejection not only of him, but of the very spirit of reform and modernity he once hoped to bring to the institution. He sees his father's decision as capitulating to pressure from the British public, the tabloids, and hardline traditionalists who never accepted his marriage, his views, or his desire to lead a different life, and yet, the monarchy sees things differently. From inside the palace, the move was not one of spite, but of self-preservation. King Charles and his advisors have long felt that Harry and Meghan were exploiting royal connections to build a brand that repeatedly undermined the institution they once served. Every documentary, podcast, and memoir was a blow to the monarchy's carefully curated image, and patience had finally run out. For Harry, the emotional toll is now manifesting as anger, confusion, and profound sadness. His father, once the man who walked him behind Princess Diana's coffin, has now become the enforcer of an exile that feels more permanent than ever. The palace's calculated decision to revoke titles also means the end of taxpayer-funded security, a particularly sensitive issue for Harry given his concerns about threats and safety. In the aftermath, Harry is said to be reeling, not just from the loss of status, but from the reality that he is now a man without a country, without a name that holds official weight in the royal world. His attempt to possibly adopt the Spencer name, in a bid to connect with his late mother's legacy, now seems more desperate than strategic, an act of identity reclamation in a world where every door he once held open is now closed. Ultimately, Harry faces an unrelenting truth: he has traded royal duty for freedom, but the cost has been irreparable distance from the family and legacy he once belonged to. In the eyes of the monarchy, titles are tied to loyalty. And in turning his life into content, Harry has been cast out, not just from the palace, but from the very history he hoped to shape.